This video will touch on 4 main attachment styles, which are ways we relate to others based on our early life experiences. This video will give you a quick idea of why each attachment style might occur, what to typically expect from each attachment style, as well as what each attachment style would benefit from support-wise. The first attachment style is secure attachment. And this style happens when a child feels loved and safe with their caregivers, and they know they can get their comfort needs met when they seek it. In adults, this looks like someone who has healthy relationships, who feels able and safe in expressing their emotions, and they have trust in themselves and the world around them. The best way to support someone with a secure attachment is to continue reinforcing their positive interactions with those around them. Continue to promote their independence and be consistent with them so that they continue having trust within their relationships. Avoidant attachments happen when a child has had caregivers who are unresponsive or distant when it comes to the child's needs, so the child learns to rely on themselves instead of asking for help. Adults with avoidant attachments will avoid getting close or intimate with others, including partners, because of feeling uncomfortable with emotion, since they weren't taught how to understand or regulate these emotions when they were younger. The best way to support someone with an avoidant attachment style is to remember that this style needs their space. Make sure you respect their independence and avoid discussions about feelings, as this may make them close off or feel uncomfortable. Try to be patient. Trust with avoidant attachment styles takes a lot of time. Try to remember not to take their emotional distance personally, and let them come to you when they're ready to discuss something emotion-based. Make sure you create a stable and safe environment, as predictability helps people with avoidant attachment to feel safer because they know what to expect. The anxious ambivalent attachment style occurs when a child has had a caregiver who is inconsistent in meeting the needs of the child, with the caregiver sometimes being there when needed and at other times not being available at all. In adults, this looks like a need for constant reassurance and validation, and the individual can be overly dependent and worry a lot about their relationships. The best way to support the anxious ambivalent attachment style is to be reliable. Consistency is key with this attachment style. Making sure that you follow through with what you say you're going to do and being predictable in your interactions minimizes their fear of abandonment and anxiety. Give reassurance. Consistent reassurance lets people with anxious and ambivalent attachments know that you're there for them, as well as anxiety-reducing statements such as "great job" or "I'm here for you" also help. Encourage their self-confidence by praising what they do right and noticing their strengths, and help them to make their own decisions and suggest things for them to try on their own. And try to stay calm when this type is emotional. Anxiously attached individuals tend to react strongly to what they consider to be threats in their relationships, so remaining patient and calm tends to help de-escalate. Disorganized attachment happens when a child's caregiver has been a source of scariness and comfort, usually in the cases of abuse and neglect. Adults may struggle with their emotional regulation, have erratic mood swings, and may act in ways that seem contradictory. Sometimes they might seem distrusting, but they'll also seek comfort from those around them. Best ways to support this attachment style is to be predictable. A predictable and structured environment helps to minimize the internal chaos that someone with this attachment style can experience and will help them feel a lot more secure. Avoid mentioning past traumas unless they're brought up by them. Feel free to gently ask about triggers if the individual appears to be in the right headspace, and make adjustments to support that person with those when needed. With this attachment style, it's important not to patronize, make fun of, minimize how they're feeling, blame, laugh, or do anything that you wouldn't want to have done to you, as this reinforces the fears and instability that this attachment style has, and they will tend to react a lot more erratically due to their struggles with emotional regulation. The best support for this particular type is to be a calm force. Being consistent, calm, and compassionate helps people with disorganized attachment to regulate a lot more quickly when they're feeling overwhelmed, and can help to create a feeling of safety, not just for them, but for yourself as well. It should be noted that some traits in autism and attachment disorders can look the same. So both can present as struggling to form and maintain healthy reciprocal relationships. Both can have difficulties managing their emotions, and both can have similar behaviors such as being emotionally distant or withdrawn, or have a lack of or difficulty maintaining eye contact. The main differences, though, is that autism stems from social challenges and sensory difficulties, whereas attachment disorders stem from relational trauma. Autism traits are also stable and consistent, whereas attachment symptoms can change depending on their environment or who is providing the caregiving. Autism is genetic, and attachment disorders are because of environmental factors. So basically, if the behaviors change depending on who's around, it's more than likely the attachment disorder that you're seeing and not the autism, as the autism would remain consistent. So to round up this video, whether you're supporting someone with a learning disability, attachment disorder, or autism, focus on building trust, emphasize positive social interactions without pressurizing, adapt your communication to meet your service users' needs by using language tailored to them and consider their processing time. And probably most importantly, create a calm environment to avoid overstimulation. If you guys would like to do any of your own independent research, I'm going to put a list of a few books at the end of this, and there's also Uncle Google, who is a wealth of knowledge.